Hello and welcome to a journey through the most infamous airports on the planet. Today we're diving into the sprawling, chaotic underbelly of the world's worst airports. These are the concrete behemoths that seem to defy the very concept of comfort and efficiency. Over the next few chapters, we'll explore 10 airports that make you question your travel choices, your patience, and your sanity. We'll uncover the reasons why these airports have earned their notorious reputations, from security lines that seem endless to customer service that leaves much to be desired. So get ready, because we're about to delve into the world of air travel nightmares, where delays are the norm, the food is often questionable, and the chances of your luggage going missing are surprisingly high. This is our countdown of the 10 worst airports in the world. You might want to grab a drink and settle in. This is going to be a bumpy ride. Our first stop on this whirlwind tour of travel horrors brings us to sunny California, or at least what you can see of it through the perpetual smog cloud. Yes, dear viewers, we're talking about Los Angeles International Airport, or LAX, for those of you who enjoy a good acronym that sounds like a laxative. LAX consistently ranks high, or should I say low, on lists of the worst airports in America, and frankly, it's not hard to see why. When determining the worst airports, several key factors come into play. Delays are a major criterion, with LAX being notorious for its long lines and frequent hold-ups. Amenities, or the lack thereof, also play a significant role. Imagine endless rows of uncomfortable chairs and limited charging stations. Now picture trying to navigate through that with a screaming toddler and a dead phone. And let's not forget the sinking realization that you forgot to pack snacks. Customer service is another critical factor. LAX is infamous for its unhelpful staff and chaotic environment. Because, as if the sheer chaos and inefficiency weren't enough, LAX also boasts some truly abysmal customer service. We're talking about employees who make Eeyore look like a ray of sunshine, folks. They're about as helpful as a chocolate fireguard, and twice as likely to melt under pressure. Let's dive into why LaGuardia Airport in New York City is often considered one of the worst airports in the world. First, the layout is a logistical nightmare. The terminals are disjointed, making it difficult to navigate from one to another without feeling like you're on a scavenger hunt. Security lines are notoriously long, often snaking through the terminal and causing significant delays for travelers. Passengers frequently complain about the lack of seating and the overall crowded conditions, which make waiting for flights an exercise in patience. Delays are a common occurrence, with many flights being postponed or cancelled, adding to the frustration of an already stressful experience. The facilities themselves are outdated and in dire need of renovation. It's not uncommon to see exposed wires and makeshift repairs throughout the terminal. Ongoing construction projects add to the chaos, with temporary facilities that are often poorly marked and confusing to navigate. The overall cleanliness of the airport leaves much to be desired, with many areas appearing cluttered and unkempt. And let's not forget the pest problem. There have been numerous reports of cockroaches and other pests making themselves at home in the outdated facilities. All these factors combine to make LaGuardia Airport a prime example of what can go wrong in airport design and management. London Heathrow. You've got Big Ben, Buckingham Palace, and an airport so consistently delayed it makes you wonder if they're using sundials to schedule flights. Look, I get it. Delays happen. Sometimes a flock of particularly charismatic pigeons decides to hold a rave on the runway, but at Heathrow, it's practically woven into the fabric of its being. You know how some airports offer free Wi-Fi to make delays more bearable? Heathrow's like, we'll offer you free anxiety and the lingering suspicion you'll never actually see your luggage again. And don't even get me started on the cancellations. You could be sitting there, boarding pass in hand, only to hear, "Attention passengers, your flight to, well, anywhere really, has been cancelled because reasons." And the worst part, everyone acts like it's completely normal. You'd think you were at a bus stop, not an international airport. People just sort of sigh, accept their fate, and settle in for another round of overpriced tea and existential dread. And let's not forget the security lines. You'd think they were auditioning for a new season of Survivor. Look, I'm not saying Heathrow is all bad. It's got a lot of frustrated travellers, that's for sure. But hey, at least it's a character-building experience, right? Just make sure you pack your patience, a good book, and maybe a therapist's phone number for good measure. Bonjour, and welcome to Charles de Gaulle Airport, a place where confusion and frustration are the norm. This Parisian airport is notorious for its bewildering layout, which feels like it was designed without any consideration for the passengers. Navigating CDG is a daunting task, often compared to solving an impossible puzzle. The terminals seem to be in different dimensions, connected by a series of underground trains that are notoriously unreliable. The signage is another major issue, often leaving passengers more confused than helped. It's as if the directional signs were designed to mislead rather than guide. Many travelers find themselves wandering aimlessly, unsure of where to go next. If you do manage to find your way, consider yourself lucky, but hey, at least you're in Paris, right? The city of lights, love, and seemingly endless airport terminals. Just try not to think about the fact that you could be enjoying a croissant by the Seine instead of dealing with the chaos at CDG. Ah, Newark Liberty International Airport, the shining beacon of the Garden State where dreams come to, well, not die exactly, but definitely be put on hold indefinitely. Look, I'm not saying Newark is the worst airport in the world. It's not. It's just aggressively mediocre. Take, for instance, the dining options, or lack thereof. Instead, you're treated to a bleak landscape of overpriced chain restaurants and sad-looking grab-and-go kiosks. It's like they took all the culinary creativity of New Jersey, which, let's be honest, isn't exactly overflowing, and decided to just not. You're better off sneaking in a Taylor ham sandwich from home. And don't even get me started on the prices. It's enough to make you want to start a hunger strike, or at least invest in a really good smuggling bra for snacks. Now, I know what you're thinking, John. Surely there's more to Newark than just subpar food and existential despair. And to that I say, well, there's also the distinct feeling that you're trapped in a never-ending layover designed by a sadist who really hates comfortable seating. Seriously, finding a decent place to sit in Newark is like trying to find a unicorn riding a Segway through Times Square. Technically possible, but highly unlikely. You've got your standard issue uncomfortable airport chairs, strategically placed to maximize back pain and minimize legroom. And don't even think about trying to catch a quick nap. The airport seems to have a strict no-sleeping policy, enforced by a crack team of security guards armed with whistles and disapproving stares. It's enough to make you want to curl up in a fetal position and cry, or at least invest in one of those travel pillows that makes you look like you're smuggling a grapefruit. But the real kicker? The outdated facilities. It's like stepping into a time capsule from the early 90s, complete with ancient seating and decor that screams, "We gave up." And let's not forget the frequent cancellations. Just another stop on the long, strange trip that is modern air travel. Just another stop on the long, strange trip that is modern air travel. Just another stop on the long, strange trip that is modern air travel. So you've arrived in the Philippines, eager to soak up the sun and explore stunning islands, but first you find yourself at Ninoy Aquino International Airport, or NAIA, as the locals call it. Let's just say it doesn't exactly scream tropical paradise. In fact, it's more likely to scream, "Where in the world is my luggage?" NIA has gained a bit of a reputation for misplacing luggage, and by misplacing I mean your bags might end up on a delightful 3-day tour of Southeast Asia. Now, I understand that mistakes happen. Luggage gets lost, but at NIA it seems less like an occasional mishap and more like a core competency. It's like they've embraced the chaos, woven it into the very fabric of the airport experience. And the best part, you'll be navigating this luggage labyrinth in a terminal that's about as crowded as a clown car at rush hour. Which brings us to our next point. If you thought finding a seat on a crowded bus was tough, just wait until you experience the seating situation at NIA. It's like they believe chairs are a precious commodity hoarded away like some kind of airport gold. You'll find yourself weaving through a sea of humanity, desperately searching for a sliver of unoccupied space. And when you finally spot a vacant seat, bam! It's immediately claimed by someone who apparently has been training for this moment their entire life. But hey, at least you're not alone in your suffering. You'll be surrounded by fellow travellers, all united in their shared experience of discomfort and mild claustrophobia. Think of it as a bonding exercise, like a really sweaty, stressful group hug. So if you find yourself flying into Naya, here's a little tip: pack light, bring your own chair, and maybe invest in a good tracking device for your luggage. You've been warned. Miami International Airport, a gateway to sunshine, beaches, and, well, let's be honest, some of the most baffling security procedures known to man. Look, I understand the need for airport security, really I do, but MIA seems to have missed the memo on efficiency, opting instead for a more theatrical approach. Picture this: you're finally at the front of the security line, feeling that familiar surge of victory after navigating the human labyrinth. But just as you reach for your shoes, BAM! The line grinds to a halt. Why? Because someone, somewhere, has committed the egregious crime of having a water bottle. Now, I'm no security expert, but I'm pretty sure a rogue water bottle isn't going to bring down an airplane. But at MIA, it might as well be a ticking time bomb. Prepare yourself for a full-blown interrogation, complete with suspicious glances and a thorough examination of your travel-sized toiletries. So, you've finally made it through security, your dignity slightly bruised, but your spirit unbroken. Now it's time to face the next challenge: navigating the sprawling maze that is MIA's terminal system. It's like they took inspiration from a bowl of spaghetti, tossed in a few extra twists and turns for good measure, and said, let's make this an airport. You'll find yourself wandering aimlessly, desperately searching for your gate, all while dodging rogue luggage carts and trying to decipher the often confusing signage. And just when you think you've cracked the code, BAM! You stumble upon a sign that sends you right back to where you started. But hey, at least you're getting your steps in, right? Think of it as a forced march towards your destination, a test of endurance that will leave you feeling like you've truly earned that vacation. Just try not to miss your flight in the process. Sao Paulo Guarulhos International Airport, or GRU as it's known, a prime example of an airport plagued by inefficiencies and a lack of amenities. From the moment you step inside, you're greeted with long lines at check-in counters, and the frustration only builds as you navigate through security. After a long flight, the last thing you need is to wait endlessly for your baggage, only to face a 2-hour trek through traffic that would make a Los Angeles commuter weep. But wait, there's more. Not only is GRU inconveniently located, but it also lacks efficient public transportation options. So, you've decided to brave the public transportation options from GRU. Well, buckle up, Buttercup, because you're in for a wild ride. First, you'll need to navigate the labyrinthine bus terminal, which is about as well signposted as a black hole. Good luck finding the right bus without resorting to interpretive dance or telepathy. And once you've successfully boarded the correct bus, get ready for a journey that will test your patience, your bladder, and your faith in humanity. You'll be packed in like sardines with fellow travelers, all while dodging potholes and silently praying that you don't end up on the evening news as part of a public transportation-themed horror story. But hey, at least it's an adventure, right? Think of it as an authentic Brazilian experience, a chance to immerse yourself in the local culture and appreciate the finer things in life like personal space and reliable transportation. Just try not to think about how much easier it would be to just hail a helicopter. So, you've decided to embrace your inner peace and visit Nepal, huh? You're picturing majestic mountains, colourful prayer flags, and serene monasteries. What you're probably not picturing is Tribhuvan International Airport, which, let's be honest, is about as serene as a mosh pit at a yak herding festival. First off, the infrastructure, or should I say, the outdated infrastructure. Forget about finding a comfy lounge or a decent cup of coffee. You're more likely to stumble across a stray goat chewing on discarded boarding passes. And the seating? Let's just say you'd be more comfortable perched on a yak's back. Now look, I get it. Nepal is a developing country and resources are tight. But there's a certain baseline of functionality you'd expect from an international airport. And Tribhuvan, well, it consistently misses that mark like a blindfolded archer with a severe case of the hiccups. But the real fun begins when you finally reach your departure gate. Picture this: hundreds of people crammed into a space designed for maybe half that number. The air is thick with the smell of sweat and desperation, and the only sound louder than the constant announcements is the collective groan when someone inevitably trips over an unattended suitcase. And don't even get me started on the seating situation. It's like playing a real-life game of musical chairs, except the chairs are mostly broken and the music is a constant loop of babies crying and disgruntled travelers arguing over power outlets. Look, I'm all for roughing it in the name of adventure. But when you're paying good money for a plane ticket, you deserve a slightly more dignified experience than what Tribhuvan International Airport currently offers. Let's not forget the frequent power outages that can leave you in the dark, literally and figuratively. Kenya, the land of safaris, breathtaking landscapes, and Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. Now, I'm not saying this airport is going to ruin your dream African adventure, but let's just say it has the potential to add a special kind of stress to your trip, the kind usually reserved for root canals and tax audits. You see, Jomo Kenyatta International Airport has a bit of a reputation for long security lines, like really long security lines. It's almost impressive, really, the sheer volume of people that seem to be stuck in those lines. And let's not forget the customer service. Now, I understand that mistakes happen. But when your airport becomes synonymous with poor customer service, it might be time to, I don't know, maybe invest in some better training programs, or at least hire a team of highly trained customer service experts. But the real kicker is the baggage claim area. It's like a scene out of a post-apocalyptic film where weary travellers wander aimlessly, clutching their tattered claim stubs and praying to whatever deity they believe in that their luggage hasn't been accidentally shipped to a remote village in the Serengeti. And the carousel itself? Oh, it's a cruel mistress, that carousel. It'll taunt you with glimpses of hope, a suitcase that looks vaguely like yours, only to snatch it away at the last minute, leaving you with nothing but shattered dreams and a growing sense of despair. Look, if you're heading to Kenya, by all means go. Just maybe consider packing light and wearing all your valuables on your person. You know, just in case. Well, folks, there you have it. The 10 worst airports in the world. A veritable buffet of travel nightmares served up with a side of existential dread. We've seen it all, from crumbling infrastructure to questionable hygiene, from lost luggage to crowds that would make a sardine claustrophobic. If you've managed to survive a layover in any of these airports without losing your sanity, your luggage, or your will to live, then congratulations. You've earned yourself a lifetime supply of complimentary miniature liquor bottles and a free pass to complain about airport security lines for the rest of your days. But hey, this isn't just about pointing fingers and indulging in a good old-fashioned rant. We want to hear from you. Share your own travel horror stories in the comments below. And while you're at it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for more travel insights, tips, and the occasional dose of cynicism. Until next time, safe travels.